All right, boom. Okay, so we are live. We are with Kim and Chase right now. This is the third episode of the Marketers Roundtable. I still gotta create like a little like fancy intro for it, but I don't. So welcome to the Marketers Roundtable. So I was thinking, all right, let me do the intro. So welcome to the Marketers Roundtable, a podcast built on transparency and honesty, where we're talking to marketers who are in the trenches, building their businesses, to serve the people they've been called to serve, for their family, for their community, and for themselves.
There you go. Love it.
That works. That's great.
Nice. So, Kim and Chase, actually, funny story. You guys are like my second couple on this show, and then you guys were actually my students back in 2020 or like maybe
2020,
yeah, from my profile funnel formula program. And you guys, I think you scaled your agency organically first, and I don't know if you guys are doing ads or anything now, but we'll talk more about that. But yeah, Kim and Chase, you guys right now have a 7-figure agency, and you guys like were living. Where were you guys before you went to Mexico?
We were in Utah, northern Utah, in a little town called Brigham City. That's where we met actually about 17 years ago.
Right. And then you guys from Utah like got rid of everything and then went to Mexico.
Yep. Yeah, we sold all of our stuff, put everything in storage, and just drove down here with what we could fit in our cars.
Right. All right. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. Let's go in depth into what I guess. Let's say, where did your agency start? When did you start your agency? When did you decide to move everything and then go all the way to Mexico and then scale your agency? Like, go in depth as possible, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I started out in 2011 building custom apps. Like my stepdad had started a company where he was pushing mobile apps for businesses and things like that. He was on the whole website train too, and telling everybody that they had to have a website. He was in there with point of sale systems back in the early 90s saying, you got to take point of sale. You got to accept credit cards, man. It's the future.
Right.
And so he's always been an innovator, and I was really inspired by him. And I tried to start my own website agency when I was 2014. We tried to start our own web agency and basically just started building websites from scratch. I learned how to build in PHP. I learned all the programming languages, learned how to program from scratch. And then
but it was always just with like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it was always organic. It was always referral. And so that's what we always leaned on. We always just leaned on the organic referral route. We never really thought about paid ads too much until about 2017 when we started trying to build e-commerce stores. And we started actually getting into the Shopify and like doing the print-on-demand stuff because we had graphic design skills. And so that's what we went to college for, was graphic design, Photoshop. And I learned how to 3D model from scratch. I built over 30 video games on my actual phone and stuff too. And I let my kids and stuff play. And so, I mean, I have a lot of technical background.
Right.
And so we came into 2020. I was working at the IRS.
So it was like, the later part of 2019. We had just had our baby girl. She had just turned 1. You actually quit your job because they wouldn't
they told me that I couldn't have a birthday off. And so I'm like, well, then I can't work here. So
Right.
And so I quit, and I figured, okay, well, I can start my own business. I'm just going to go start a photography studio. And that's what I did. I tried that. It didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And so I got into my stepdad had a course from a guy named Kevin Wilkie, and he was trying to teach people how to set up like a prospecting and predictable sales system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got on that course, and I told Kimberly, I'm like, hey, dude, we could do this marketing agency stuff. Like, we have all the skills. We can build websites. We can do a lot more than most of these other guys who are just running Facebook ads can do. And so we got with her brother. We realized, like, I lacked social skills. I just didn't have them. I didn't have sales skills. I couldn't prospect. I couldn't get on and build relationships.
Well, they were just limiting beliefs.
Yeah. I mean, I'm over it now, obviously. And that's what held me back for a long time, though. So we got with our other partner, Bryson, and he helped us sell it. Like, he actually started cold calling people. He quit his job, went all in on it and all that stuff too. Got us a bunch of people signed, but everything's just been organic the whole time. Like, it's all been based on what we can post, where we can be active.
What value we can provide.
I mean, outside of the cold calling, we were only really cold calling before we met you. So once we got into that program, we were like, oh, okay,
I could get people to come to me.
Let's figure out who our ideal client is specifically. Let's go all in on that. Let's go get active where they're active. Let's try and create our profiles around those people and start posting to them.
Nice.
And so we did that. We went all in on that. Our sales guy went mostly in on that. And so he's got most of that network now, and he's still forging it forward. He's still selling for us full time. And so now we're to a point where this business is fully automated, and we have built it all on organic methods. And we actually got into Agency Lab and all that stuff too with Joel Kaplan. We got into the Rise Mastermind, all that stuff. We've been masterminding with those guys for a year. We've been in their higher level programs, and we've taken pretty much advantage of everything they've done. And their whole flagship is paid ads. Like, all they do is paid ads, and we're succeeding in that program without doing paid ads at all. We're just doing it with the group content that they've taught us. Wow. And so we just funnel people into the group. We try and do these interviews and stuff. And so that stuff's actually been bringing a lot more inbound. Everybody's just in our inbox now. And so you don't have to go out and do any cold methods anymore. Everybody just comes to you, and it just works. And so it takes a little time to get it up and going, but it is the most powerful sales system you could possibly have. It works into everything with SEO. It works into the strategy sessions, your content strategy, everything you're putting out, and being authentic and targeting the right person, having the right offer to the right people, and understanding what those people struggle with and what they need solved. If you don't understand that stuff, you just forget it. You're not going to get anywhere with it. And so a lot of people just post just to post. They post very unintentionally. And so nobody responds. They get nothing back, and they wonder why. And it's like, well, if you go learn a little bit more about the people you're trying to target, understand who you're trying to target.
Building the relationships.
Building that relationship.
Actually digging deep, like survey your people, find out what they struggle with, and be that creative problem solver. Because sometimes it's funny. Sometimes some people will know how to solve their problems, but like they get those creative blocks, and it's like, I notice sometimes I'll literally just have to talk out loud, and I'm like, oh, okay. But like but it's all about like being able to collaborate. And that's why we were talking a lot about relationships. The coolest thing too is when you build those relationships on the front end, you have so much more retention. Like, people stay. They don't want to go anywhere. They trust that you are the person that can solve their problems. It doesn't matter if they're getting results or not. You're still the person who's going to solve it for them. And so building that relationship is crucial. If you don't have that relationship, you're going to have a lot of high churn rates. You're going to basically have people coming in left and right. Your conversion rates are going to be in the dumps. And so a lot of it comes down to the fact that you're just ignoring the people that you're targeting, and you're ignoring what their actual problems are, and you're kind of self-absorbed, and you got an ego about it. And so usually just drop all that stuff, figure this out, figure these people out, figure out what they struggle with specifically, solve all those problems. I mean, Hormozi talks about this in his book. He even has workshops for it. Right. And so if you actually take those steps and apply them, you'll know exactly what to say to the right people. And when you know what to say to the right people, everything changes. Everything just becomes inbound.
Right. Wow, there's a ton to unpack right there. Wow, you just dropped gems upon gems. Okay, so let's backtrack a little. So you guys are in business together. So how did you guys even meet and start a business together?
So sorry, I got a lawnmower in the background.
I didn't even hear it.
It's all good. Basically, Kimberly and I have been together since middle school. We got together when we were 14, 15 years old in this little town in Brigham City. And we just
8th and 9th grade.
8th and 9th grade. Yeah. Got married, built a family from there. We've always kind of had the same kind of jobs, always worked for the same kind of places.
Well, it was funny because even right out of high school, and we wanted to go to college. Like, we were both actually joining the Navy and wanting to use that as a means to be able to pay for our university
and travel.
And we ended up, it was funny. We became parents very young. 7 days after I enlisted into the Navy, I found out I was pregnant. And so I got out that way.
Yeah.
And then with him and stuff, and because the school we went to and things, and it ended up to where we didn't end up doing that.
We come from the very bottom. We come from absolutely nothing.
Yeah, talk more about that. Yeah.
And then we ended up cool. Well, that didn't work out. We didn't go to the Navy. We're not going to go to college. And we picked up and left our hometown of Brigham City, and we went and we moved, and we lived in Las Vegas for about 8 years. And I tell him, we've been through hell and back. Last week I joked about it. I was like 86 times or something.
That's the thing is we've been through the dumps. We've been grinded. We've been molded. We've been formed into what we are over time, for sure. Through experience, we've had hard times. We've dealt with having no money. We've dealt with having a lot of money. It's all over the board. And so we have a lot of knowledge and a lot of advice and a lot of help for people, especially since we've had jobs where we had to figure out marketing strategies for multi-million-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies. And we had to forge SOPs and processes for those companies. And so when we came into this through the IRS, like we knew, okay, well, the IRS has their internal revenue manual that they use to make sure all their employees are always on track with everything they're doing. And if they don't follow that manual exactly, they're fired. You have to follow that manual.
Or
exactly.
That's the thing. If there's something in there that's not in the manual, like they're like, oh shit, we need to come up with something to put this in the manual.
There. And so basically, they take it very seriously. And so what we realized was we need that in our company. We need to make sure we have project management software set up. So we went to Trello. We're like, okay, let's set up project management software here. We need all these SOPs in place. As we start to hire people, they'll just learn and everything from there. And so we started setting those things up and making it a real company, because that's the stuff that makes a company valuable. You can have a company. Nobody wants to buy your company if they have to run it every single day.
Right.
You need to be able to pull yourself out and let your company run for a month. If you can't do that, you're screwed, man. You need systems. You need SOPs. You need processes. That's the thing, too, with posting and stuff, too. You should have your whole next month of posts planned out. If you don't, you're messing up, man. Like, you're going to mess it up. You're going to stop doing it. You're going to get discouraged. You're going to get overwhelmed, and it's just going to stop. And so you got to have a plan. And the best way to have a good plan is to have project management software running that stuff for you and keeping all of your employees on the right page. So that all you have to do is go live and record something, put it into a drive. They'll take that, chunk it up, post it across all the social media places. And that's the thing. That's what we're starting to get set up for people. My business now can run without me. And so I'm going to pull myself out and start helping other people do the same stuff. And so that's kind of where I'm starting to shift now. You can see it through my social media content, I'm sure.
Yeah, you are super active, dude. I see you in like everybody's comments. I'm like, yo, does he ever get off Facebook? You are so active, but it works though. That's what you got to do. Like, I'm sure you're getting a little buzz, and you see the results like inbox.
Oh, my inbox is a mile long, and everybody's like, "Are you going to answer me?" I have people posting my wall right now. Hey, dude, I sent you a message. Are you going to answer me? And I'm like, okay, dude, I will get to it. I promise. My inbox is it's forever long. I got to start setting up a couple hours a day to start answering these guys.
You got like someone managing it, like at all, like an appointment setter?
I do have a bunch of people that I could bring into that. I just haven't yet. Honestly, I didn't expect it to.
I literally said that the other day. I'm like, you need a personal assistant.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to be hiring somebody here pretty quick for sure.
For sure. I know a guy for that. I'll give you his name after.
No, absolutely.
So, all right. So you guys work for the IRS, and then you guys saw that a lot of businesses didn't know how to run their businesses well. What exactly do a lot of businesses not like? What aren't they doing well?
They have no idea how to do their taxes. They have no idea how to set up procedures and processes. They have no idea how to get everybody on the same page. They have no idea how to get people to adopt their systems. They have no idea how to bring new people in and get rid of bad apples really fast, identify those bad apples. They have no recruiting processes. They have no automation set up. They don't, like, if somebody signs up for something, they should be able to fill out a form, submit it, and then get their login info right away. And if that can't happen, you need that, because that stuff should just happen.
Well, then you got to think like there's certain aspects of the business. So there's like actually your product or service itself. There's marketing for that product or service. There's the fulfillment side of that product or service.
Yeah, and the thing
there's
is too,
all these moving parts, and that's the thing is it's like
it's got to be foundational. Like, you got to know exactly what your service is through and through, what your product is through and through, and like what it takes to fulfill in that product through and through. And until you have that, don't add anything to it. Just get good at Google Ads, just Facebook ads, just one service, especially when you're starting out. Master that service through and through, make the whole thing work and automate it and pull yourself out of it. Then you can add to it. And if you do anything before that, it's kind of like shiny object syndrome. It's going to throw you off track. Like, you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be overextended. You're not going to be able to have that stuff happen for you in real time. So once you get overwhelmed, once you have too many people come in, you have too much upfront flow, you don't really know what to do with it. You get stuck. And
analysis paralysis.
You get an analysis paralysis from it. And so you're like, how can I best handle this? And you're leaving so much money on the table when you're doing it too. And so, like I said, just get focused. Get focused on one person, one offer, one funnel, one system, one service. That's it. And as long as that works, and once you get that working and it's running itself, then you can innovate and add on to it.
But then you're gonna go through that process all over again with that new added part.
Yeah.
That's gold. Wow. So who is your ideal client right now? Like, who do you guys work with, and how did you even find the niche you guys chose to focus on and work with?
So it was scalp micropigmentation artists. They put like dots on the head to make it look like you have either a shaved head or you have thicker hair. It makes it so your head doesn't show through your thinning hair.
So like women will go and get like their brows done, permanent makeup to make them look thicker and fuller. It's essentially permanent makeup for the scalp, right? For people who have thin hair or are balding.
Right. And so we saw these guys and like they get into this service. It's a high ticket service, like $2,000 to $3,000 to get it done.
Wow.
And so they're trying to sell this service. They have no idea what a predictable sales process is. They have no idea how they should be active on social media. They have no idea how to run ads.
They expect that somebody should just fill out the form and walk in and be ready to drop 2K for dots on there.
They're just normal people who were looking for a business opportunity, and they saw the opportunity here. And so that's what they're going after. And so what we're doing is trying to help them set up these processes, actually get a predictable sales process in place. We use high level
set up their buyer's journey.
Set up their buyer's journey for them.
Coach them on how to move people through the buyer's journey.
Yeah. Create an inbound marketing strategy that people have to filter through. So we have the right drip sequences and stuff set up to make sure that people have long-term follow-up sequences and things like that to bring people in automatically. So they have leads come in, they talk to the lead for a minute, the lead falls off. Well, guess what? The system knows that lead fell off, and the system is going to follow up with that lead and bring it back up.
And you
don't have to do anything. You just answer the messages.
The replies.
That's it. All you have to do is just be in that message box all day. Just answer them. If you can't do that, well, we got a sales guy that can do that for you. And so that's kind of what it is. Like we just looked at all of the problems that they struggled with from start to finish in their end-to-end marketing system, and then solved all those problems one at a time. And in solving all those problems, like that's kind of how we figured out exactly what we were good at and what we could do. It wasn't until we got into the trees that we figured out exactly how to navigate the forest. And so basically for them, the way we got connected with them was our first client, Tia. She was in one of those groups. We got your program. We got really active in those groups and stuff. We started to change our profile funnel around. She's like, hey, I need marketing. She reached out to Kimberly, got into her inbox.
Like I just, it was, the group was Connect Utah. And so it was like a whole bunch of local businesses.
Business networking
and
group.
Somebody was like, hey, does anybody know anything about Facebook ads? And I went in there and commented, hey, yeah, maybe we can talk. And then this girl just came into my inbox out of nowhere because she had just saw it. And she was our first actual client.
Yeah.
And it was funny. We were trying to target car dealers. We were trying to do e-com. We got a ketamine clinic through referral. And so we were bouncing all around. And it wasn't until like 5 months later, we circled back and we're like, you know what? Like, why don't we just go all in on this SMP stuff?
Right.
Because we were all over the place. We were car dealerships, ketamine clinic, SMP artists, and then we just realized, okay, now I got to figure out this market. They're all different. They all have different clients. They all have different reasons, and it just overextended us. And so we're like, okay, forget about all the other ones. Let's go all in on this one that's working for us. And so we just figured it out through and through, and then we scaled past 30K at that point. Like at that point, we got 30K, 35K, 45K, 50K, and it just kept coming. And so,
how fast did that happen?
What's that?
How fast did that start to happen?
It took a long time.
It took us probably a year to hit 10K, and then to hit 30, 50K, it was less than 6 months.
Because that's the thing. It's such a small niche. So we wanted, people kept telling us all the time, why are you in such a small niche? And we're but we were
there's 100,000 doctors. There's 100,000 lawyers. Why are you guys targeting 500 people? And the thing is you can't run ads in this niche. It doesn't work. You cannot do it. You will get nowhere. And
we got to run ads for them?
No, we run ads for them.
We run ads for them.
But not for
we don't
ourselves.
run ads for ourselves because we have to get integrated into the community, meet them, nurture those relationships, get to know them, bring the referrals back. It's so much work.
Get to know their friends. Yeah.
But like I said, when they get on with us, they don't go anywhere. They just stay. They don't ever leave. And so that's the powerful thing behind it is we realize the power of relationships and organic marketing and how those customers are so much more powerful.
Well, if you frame yourself, so that's a big thing that we've actually in our business been trying to do is it's more than just lead generation.
Yeah.
So of course, every business needs new leads. You always need new, fresh people to talk to, new people to enter your buyer's journey, but you really need to nurture those people at the other stages
leads are just fuel.
Too. Leads are
the
fuel.
System, the predictable sales process, the end-to-end marketing system that is the valuable thing. Without that, leads are just fuel. You need for that system. If that system is broken, your leads are going to go nowhere.
Right.
They're just going to fall off. They're going to fall right out of the funnel. They're gone.
That's next level. This is some next level stuff. So I want to unpack that. So number one, right, guys, you don't have to there's more than just coaches and consultants out there that sell high ticket services and packages. And you don't have to go after all these like niches that people will tell you to go after. Like there's business owner, there's all sorts of business owners, and like Chase and Kim say, like none of them know what they're doing. Like you would be surprised how many business owners have no idea and are stressed.
They don't.
Like they're confused.
They need help.
One of our coaches, they're like, all niches suck. Like that's the thing. All niches suck. Pick one.
Pick one and plug away, man. That's what you got to do.
I might have to put that on the t-shirt. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So let's talk more about mindset, because I heard a quote once. It was like, you don't really have business problems. You just have personal problems that translate in your business.
That's absolutely
right.
So, even me, like, I dealt with, self-esteem issues and anxiety and all that growing up, like
imposter syndrome, all that stuff. Yeah.
And then like it affects you, like, and that, dealing with anyone, like me talking to another man, me talking to a woman, me talking to clients, like it affects you everywhere. So, and I feel like for me, I got a lot of my fears from like my parents. Like, what I'm saying? My mom was a very fearful person. Like even when I started I've always been like entrepreneurial. I'm like selling candy at school, and I'm bringing money in. My mom's like, "What are you selling? Drugs? Like, stop it. What if they're stealing money from their parents and bringing it to you?" So,
no problem. I'm just kidding.
right, exactly. So like,
you gotta do what they gotta do.
Right. So like, what did you guys do to like? I mean, I feel like the answer is just do, right? Like, what do you do to like get over that? You know what I'm saying?
So,
and everything.
Yeah. For me, I got some great advice from one of my mentors, Nick Robbins. He basically talks a lot about mindset. He's all about like how you can be an optimal person and like how that translates into everything you do, and how everything you do kind of translates into everything you do. It's
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Basically. And so he is all about your morning routine. Like he's all about priming yourself and setting yourself up with the right energy for the day, because you got to fill yourself up, your cup. You got to fill yourself up with the energy you expect to put out throughout the day. If you don't fill yourself up with that energy in the morning, you're going to have a bad day. The day's going to be whatever it is. And so you got to get up and meditate and visualize and think around what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to accomplish and what life looks like when you get there. Because it's what keeps you motivated internally to go after it.
Well, and the thing is too, just think like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different results. If you do the same things, you're going to continue to get the same results. And so sometimes you just have to like, it's easier said than done, but to actually get yourself outside of your comfort zone, like even just this last couple of weeks, because we have some other coaches that we've been working on, because we're still trying to get over some of those like, self-limiting beliefs and things like that, but they're like pushing you. And so by having, I think, that support system in those relationships too, that extra accountability, like, hey, did you do this?
Well, it gives you the confidence to know you're going to get things done too. So one thing, you have the accountability, but you also have that mentor there to help you through the things. And that confidence you're going to carry into every sales call you have, everybody that you're talking to, trying to come up with new ideas, the brainstorming sessions that you have, it's going to come through and through.
Well, you feel proud too by actually following through and doing something. And by feeling that, then you carry yourself with more confidence.
You need those goals. You need to see them being checked off. You need time management so that you can see yourself achieving in real time. It motivates you.
Yeah, progress is happiness. So like you guys have been investing a ton into like masterminds and coaches. Like, how are you guys finding like the people to invest in? Like, did you get connected with one person who knows everybody else? And like how do you guys make a decision on who to invest in? And then like, where are you finding these people to work with?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten some through my own network because my family is extremely well connected. My stepdad and my mom and everybody. I have a lot of friends who are extremely well connected. Like I have connections across the board, just naturally. And so, I mean, I've always been learning this stuff. I've always been motivated into this stuff. I have a lot of friends who continue to give me the right advice. But on top of that, I found my own too. I went through this workshop for high level, basically back in the end of 2020. It was with Joel Kaplan and Paulson Thomas, and they basically talked about how to make 10K in 10 days. I went through that and I realized, I'm like, okay, who's Joel Kaplan? So I added him as a friend and stuff, and he started reaching into my inbox, probably one of his VAs, I'm sure. But basically, I set up the call, got on with one of his sales guys, and they started talking about this other company we were kind of modeling after that they had helped. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's go see what this is. And so we joined in. We spent our last dollars on it pretty much to try and figure it out, because we'd gone through a coach before that who wasn't Like he definitely
he
was a fake guru. He was the guy telling us to post those stupid comments, the ones that you were talking about earlier, like those stupid things in the message boxes. And like he was like, just go send that to 100 people. Don't worry, they'll come back. It just works. It just does. I can't tell you how, it just does.
I wish I knew who he was, because like I just want to know who is teaching this shit, bro. I want to know so bad. You gotta tell me afterwards. You gotta tell me.
Well, after we went through that, we're like, okay, this guy's full of shit. We need to get onto something else that works. So I've gone through the bad ones. I've gone through the good ones. I know who is legit now. And like we got with Joel, we realized that those guys, they were next level. Once we got in there, like they were doing next level things. Like they were focused on these processes, these procedures, and paid ads and fueling it, and then communities and stuff too. Yeah, and then actually building out your Facebook group and all that stuff. They had trainings for all this stuff. And they had an old course. They had the whole new course that they were doing. They had the ongoing coaching. They have so much support. That community is incredible. And then on top of that, so we figured we were in the right place. So we joined into their Next Level Rise program when they came out with it. We went to Denver. We met Joel. We met that whole group. We went to the Miami event that they had and met everybody there again too. We're going to Costa Rica in a couple weeks. And so these guys have just been amazing. They've been next level friends. They brought us a lot of employees. They helped us build our team. They helped us with so much as far as processes, procedures, and like I said, the team building stuff, leadership, stepping into that leadership stuff.
But that's the thing. Like it wasn't free. You know, you have to invest.
We spent more than $50K easy in a year.
Invest in your team. So it's like, so some people like, you know, they just like, yeah, we weren't making as much money that we wanted to make during that time, like throughout that scaling process and things. But it's like knowing that, hey, by reinvesting this or investing in this right now, it's going to pay long-term dividends.
Well, we watch our
people
clients
are scared to.
We watch people come in all the time, and then we will get something set up for them. It will start working, and then they realize, well, I'm not getting any leads this month. And we go, well, it's more than leads. Like you have leads in there. We can reactivate those lists. We can start doing other things to try and build up your marketing. We can give you the coaching and stuff. We can help you with the sales process. They don't see all that stuff. They just see, oh, I'm lacking leads. This thing's broken. I need to leave. And it's like, well, if you don't give it at least 6 months, you're never going to get results. And so nobody's going to work for you for free. It's just what it is. I spend easily more than $3,000 a month just on coaching, just for somebody to tell me what to do. That's it. They don't run ads for me. They don't bring me leads. They don't bring me any money. But the value is there. And a lot of other business owners don't see that. They just see, oh, well, I didn't make any money. I didn't get an immediate return. And so they're like, okay, I need to leave. I need to go somewhere else. And you realize that's why you're not getting a return. That's why your business is going out. You've got to stick with somebody. If you believe that they're the right person to run your ads, stick with them as long as it takes. Because if you don't, you're never going to get there. And I realized that too with my coaching. That's the thing. Is like, if I didn't stick with it, I watched a lot of people come into that coaching program and leave, and then they didn't get results. They didn't start their agency. It didn't take off like mine did.
Right. So you guys are building a real business. You got a team, infrastructure. Actually, it's funny you bring up this infrastructure thing. I'm interviewing a guy named Alexander Olave, and he was talking about that too. How important infrastructure is. So you guys are building out this big team, infrastructure, all that. Like, is the goal with the agency to eventually sell it, or what is the goal with the agency?
Honestly, I mean, maybe at some point. I'm not really sure. We just kind of wanted to scale it to 10K per month.
Well, it's funny. We only wanted 10K. We didn't want to work for anybody else. But then it's like, then when you hit one goal, the weird goal-striving mechanisms, it's like, well, shit. Now what's next?
You hit that 10K and you're like, oh, I need 30. You hit that 30K. Oh, I need 50. You hit that. Oh, I need 100, man. I need 250. It just keeps going. But the value from it comes in, it's building it right. And if it actually works, and if it's a system that you can step away from it for a month and it keeps working, then that's valuable. It's not valuable until that point. And so if you really do want to sell it, those systems are essential. Without those systems, if the business can't run itself, nobody wants to buy a business that they have to run themselves. It should just run itself. It's an investment. And so if it's not that investment, nobody will ever buy it. And if somebody does, they're never going to pay you what it's worth. And so it's worth taking the time to build those procedures, those processes, those SOPs, and those automated systems out. So it just works. And so that way you can take an employee and pull them out. It's okay. They're fired, right? Bring another one, put them in. He can get trained up. The system runs itself. It does that for us.
Right. No one wants to buy a business. They have to run themselves. That's another t-shirt. I'm telling you guys, I'm rebranding my whole company. So like, I'm gonna be rocking my own merch.
I love it.
Definitely have a bunch of t-shirts with these quotes. Awesome. So like a little more technical stuff. I like focusing more on like strategy and big picture stuff. But let's talk a little more technical. So like with these systems and processes, like what is that like? Where do you guys build that out? Like all in Trello?
We switched from Trello because we couldn't scale it.
Yeah, Trello wasn't going to scale.
So we looked at Asana, we looked at Monday.com for our client management and stuff. And then we realized, okay, we need a one place for everything. And so we switched to ClickUp. And ClickUp did everything. It did everything Monday did. It did everything Trello did. It did everything Asana did, and then some. But it's a really confusing software because it does so much. It's like high level
analysis paralysis.
It's like WordPress. It is what you make it.
Right.
It is not it's a framework, basically. Yeah, it's a foundation to build what you need into it. And so with ClickUp, we realized, okay, well, we've got to work to build everything into it, and then we've got to work to simplify it, and then we've got to work to make sure that everything that happens in it affects everything else too.
You can't start and you can't just go right to work. Tell them about like how you plan it out and like diagramming it out.
Well, yeah. Basically, you're going to fall apart if you don't have a program like Whimsical or something like that to diagram things out. You got to change things around and move things around and have a little past-board and connect things up and see how it works.
Right.
Then go build it. Because if you build it first,
you're going to rebuild it.
You're going to rebuild it. You're going to rebuild it. You're going to spend all your time building it. And so that's what I realized is I started getting really good at diagramming that stuff out because I'm a programmer. Like that's what we do.
Right.
And I'm really patient when it comes to debugging things too, and actually automating things. I can build super advanced automations because I'm a programmer, and other people just don't have that luxury. And so for me, it's really easy. For other people, it's really hard. They can't. They can tell me what they want, and then I can make it happen. They can't make it happen. That's why they come to me. And so basically, with ClickUp, we realized that it's only as good as the team adopting it. And so the team has to be able to adopt it. And so we built out a process for helping the team adopt it and training them up into it and then simplifying it around them so they only see what they need to see. And so they can just get their job done. And so that's the point, is efficiency and productivity. Without that, it's worthless. And so when you first bring ClickUp in, it's worthless because it's too confusing. Your team doesn't want to use it and you have no idea how to train them up into it. And you spend all your time building out processes you don't know how to build. And it doesn't communicate with your high level. It doesn't give people their one-click onboarding where they just get their logins for nothing and your team can just do their work. And so the team is always putting Band-Aids on everything. All of your team become Band-Aids. You have this Band-Aid here, this Band-Aid there, this Band-Aid there, and as it starts to scale and get bigger, it breaks. It falls apart. So you need that foundation from the get-go. Without that foundation from the get-go that can just take and you can just fuel it with employees, fuel it with customers, and then it just works. That's the whole point. That's why our company is much more valuable now, because we have that stuff and it just works. I'm able to pull myself out now and go help people do the same thing.
Right. Nice. There's a ton right there. So what are you guys like struggling with right now? Because it's not all butterflies and rainbows, right?
No,
yeah, I mean, we've always struggled with upfront leads. Like we don't run ads
because it is a small niche, and it's all
so it grows.
We've tried. We have ran ads for our niche before.
Yeah, it just they never work. We even had agency lab try and run our ads for us. They just didn't work. The ads just don't work for this niche.
Yeah,
it's all organic. It's all relationship building. If you can't take the time to do that, if you don't get really good at your prospecting, you're screwed because you have to know who to build that relationship with. So you got to go look at the whole market and say, okay, this person could be good. This person could be good. This person could be good. Get on the phone with them, qualify them. If they don't qualify, kick them out fast.
You can only build so many relationships at one time, so you have to focus on.
You got to get into their Facebook page. You got to be like, hey, man, how's your dog? Tell your dog happy birthday for me, man. How's your kids? How's the wife? How are things going? It's like when you go to the gym and you're seeing people there all the time. You don't know who they are. And you're like, okay, he's working out. But then you see that person at the grocery store or something like that. Hey, man, I see you at the gym all the time. What do you do? What's going on? And that's what it is. Like, you're just building a friendship, and you got to know who to build that friendship with, who are your ideal clients. Otherwise, you won't be able to prospect that out and disqualify the people who are just going to waste your time.
Yeah, that's gold because
time management.
Yeah, time management's huge.
That's what I struggle with the most.
So how do you deal with that?
So lately what I'm trying to do is, and again, it comes down, so even just, it's been like the last 2 months where I feel that I've really been excelling because, just for doing so many things, like being a mom, wife, entrepreneur.
I mean, you realize like 10 years ago,
trying to deal with like friends.
I wasn't the person who could do this life every day. Like a year ago, I wasn't the person who could step into this and do this every day. I would have failed. I had to grow into this person and get a foundation for it.
So that's the thing. And then like just getting over the limiting beliefs. So just this year in the last 2 months, really starting to focus on my fitness, nutrition, and mindset just getting more active, starting to actually go to the gym, take more walks. Because like I would seriously just go work. And like, you know, when you think about it, some people will say, oh, I'm working 10-hour days, 12-hour days, 16-hour days, but you know, that's not all productive work.
Right.
You know, you're doing this here, you're doing that there.
You were working the whole 12 hours.
Yeah.
Come on.
So that was one of my biggest struggles, and actually, like, and I still struggle with it, trying to balance, you know, the time management between the family, fitness, mindset, nutrition, self-care, the business.
There's just certain things you got to get checked off, and if you don't, life is hard, man. It's hard to maintain it if you don't stick to that schedule and keep that stuff going.
So now, like, from our mentor Nick Robbins, and that's one of his biggest things that he hones in on is like that time management and stuff, like doing a time audit. So I've gotten better. I still struggle with it, but like it's going to be an ongoing.
Well, then eating and drinking right, exercising, that stuff, because otherwise you're going to have secondary consequences that you're struggling from that you can't overcome. Like you'll be struggling from feeling like crap because the food you're eating is crap, and then feeling like crap because you're not active, you're not getting outside and walking.
Feeling like crap because you're not checking off the things that you're supposed to do.
You're not going to want to work under those conditions. Like you're not going to be motivated, and so you got to work on that stuff.
Yeah, I did this little I'm still doing it. A little 90-day detox, and like you feel the difference. Like like, and a lot of the stuff like we normalize is not normal. Like even just bad breath in the morning. I made a random post that night about this. Like if you wake up with bad breath, it's not normal because it's your food like coming.
Yes.
So like yeah, like what like, you know, you hear it all the time, you are what you eat, and it is true. Like we eat a bunch of processed garbage, like we literally don't like
you literally feel like crap eating it too.
Literally, yeah, you eat crap, you feel like crap. It's and like again, you know, you don't have business problems, you have personal problems. That stuff like it causes brain fog, it, you know, ADHD worse, et cetera, et cetera. These are the things that people don't really talk about. It's all marketing tactics and how to get 100 leads. This is why this podcast exists. So you guys have to like build from ground up again. Like something happens and it's just like everything's gone. How do you do it?
I'm actually going through that right now because, like I said, I'm leaving this company. It's going to run itself. The employees are all built out. Everything's good to go. This company can just take it and run. And so where I've done that, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start a new thing where I'm going to help people do that. And so now I'm actually in the process of figuring that out. And so what I'm leaning on is my Facebook, my like actual posting strategy, my organic strategy. I'm going to put up my website and start targeting keywords around what I'm actually trying to do as a service, consulting and things like that. I'm going to start to try and add more of those people and be active on all those influencer pages, which I'm sure you've seen a lot of that. Yeah. Right. So that is my strategy, is leaning a lot, because that's how we got started and that's what worked. We got into your program. That's what helped us take off from the get-go. So that's what I'm leaning on with this new thing too. I'm like, okay, I can do this organically. It's a lot better organically. Those are the best customers. And so,
and you're not even having to go out and like do any outbound. It's all inbound.
No,
like,
everybody just comes to
jumping in, you know,
like, hey, I need help. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. They come to you with the opportunities. Hey man, I've got this thing on the back burner. What can you help me do with it? Right. And then you start opening those conversations, and then you start to network, and then you start to like, it's just, it's a different kind of prospecting. And so for me, I'm leaning a lot on the organic
lead
stuff.
With value.
Lead with value.
Content.
Show people you know what you're talking about.
Making content. Like if you know what you're doing, you know you can
help people.
But like if you're not telling anybody that you can help them or do this thing, then nobody's ever going to know.
But the biggest thing too is you got to know who to talk to. You got to get super clear on your audience persona. Like you have an audience, and it's easy to think about that audience as a bunch of people. It's a big thing, and it's all these people, and it's everybody. Everybody always thinks their audience is everybody, but it's not. They'll ignore you if you think that. And so the thing is pick one person, just one person whose problems you're trying to solve, and say, okay, well, what does this one person struggle with that I can solve for them, and how will I solve it for them? And then start to make content around that. And that's it. Just do that long enough, stay consistent with it long enough for those people to start jumping in your inbox. Once they do, nurture those relationships. Make an offer that's compelling to them. And then one sales page, that's it. You're good to go. You'll start making the money. You'll get that upfront capital, and all the other ideas will come from there.
there's certain business problems I think a lot of people deal with that I never really dealt with. Like, for example, like chargebacks, for example. And that's like stuff that happens. I think it happens like when you're just posting content, you never really talk to a person, and then they go through some sales funnel, and then they purchase, and you never build some like real relationship with them. I think like those are some problems you deal with when when you're always like focused on when you don't build relationships. So there's a lot of problems that you won't have later on when you build like relationships, and it's just gonna take some time. You know what I'm saying? Like it just takes time. Everyone wants you to believe like you just buy a course and then all of a sudden you get 30 clients next month. It's not realistic. You know,
you see the case studies, and if they did a really good job in the funnel, you're like, yeah, that's me. I'm that person. And then you buy it, and it's like, oh, that wasn't me.
Right.
Consistency and patience.
Exactly. I had an interview with Daniel Jones, and he has a recruiting agency, and he was talking about this consistency thing too, like consistency.
Oh yeah.
It's so important because like you can get cocky, like you like all of a sudden you're growing, you can get cocky and then stop doing what got you there, and then all of a sudden shit starts crashing down.
Oh man, that's the thing too. I listen every morning. Stay hungry, stay humble. If you won yesterday, you didn't win today. You need to win tomorrow. You need to keep winning. Otherwise, it's all going to go away. And so, like, I don't care if I won yesterday. I got to get up and win tomorrow. I got to be like Kobe in this, right?
Right. I love that. Are you guys happy?
Oh, massively.
I love it. Yeah, you guys have been in it for a while. Like I'm jealous. I need a relationship like yours, man. You guys have been in it for a while. That's beautiful.
That's another big thing too. Yeah, once you can team up with a next level entrepreneur and have that kind of relationship, man, it's next level. I watched a lot of big entrepreneurs like
it's funny. Well, like just talk, like he's had to drag my ass a lot, like to get me on board. Like I can work, I can do things. I've always had like a really strong like work ethic and stuff, but like stepping into entrepreneurship,
it's hard.
It was kind of like hard and next level. I remember when we very first started in 2020, like there would be times I wouldn't touch my computer for a few days, almost a week at a time. And now it's like actually like, now he's not dragging me anymore. Now I'm like, okay, like I need to level up.
It's like when you bring two twin flames together and they just grow brighter. And so that's kind of what it is over time, what we're achieving. And both parties have to be on top of it. Both parties have to want it.
If you have any kind of business partner relationship,
you guys got to be on the same page.
A romantic or love relationship.
And it's going to do things to your relationship that you don't expect. You're going to have to deal with that stuff, obviously.
Sometimes goals and stuff misalign. Like even with our mentor, Joel, and his company, Atlas Digital, is what he did. And it was a chiropractor marketing agency, and him and his business partner. And it's like his business partner was comfortable only getting up to like what was it? Like 200K, 250, 300K per month. And Joel's like, I want more. And so that's the thing, is it wasn't a good fit anymore. Joel wanted, to strive for more. And Marcus didn't, and so they didn't see eye to eye, and you'll see it in a lot of things.
Marcus bought him out, and Joel went all in on agency.
But in any relationship, you have to have those aligned goals. You have to have that aligned vision, and if the vision isn't aligned, there's going to be a disconnect, and
you're going to struggle.
It's going to be hard. So we've had a lot of hard talks about, where we probably didn't like see eye to eye, and it's like, hey, this is my vision. Do you have this vision too? Or,
And don't try and talk the other person into it. Just everybody has their vision. Everybody has their stance on it. Everybody's in their own journey at their own level. And so you got to understand that. And everybody has something to offer you. Every single person, I don't care if it's a janitor in a middle school, man. Every single person has something to teach you. Every single person can be your mentor. I truly believe that. I watched Nick Robbins and Alex Hormozy. They pay 20-year-olds and they say, that guy's my mentor. Like, of course he is. He's teaching you something you didn't know. I'll pay that person for that information. It doesn't matter how old I am. Don't ever get above that, because that will only hold you back. And so, like I said, every person is at a different level. And having that understanding and having the understanding that every person has value to offer, don't try and force people into things. Don't try and force people to do things they don't want to do. Your clients, your prospects, your family, your friends, your partners, people are all at different levels with their different goals. And you got to understand, how do these goals align? You don't need to study the goal or have my goal, but how does it stuff align? And how can we align all of our goals to meet the same goals, all get to where we want to be and be happy? I do the same thing with my employees. We have one-on-ones every month where we're like, okay, well, what are your goals right now? How are you achieving those goals? What are your personal goals? How can we align what this agency is doing with what you want to do? Because if you're not running your own company in 5 years, I've failed you. If you're not happy doing what you're doing, I've failed you.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So what are like some of the biggest mistakes you guys have made so someone can avoid making those mistakes?
Like I said, get super clear really fast. Get clarity. Sit down and plan everything. Make sure you got one prospect, one offer, one funnel, and just make it work. Don't be all over the place. It'll just waste your time.
Don't procrastinate and don't get that analysis paralysis. Don't overanalyze and think. Like, don't worry about
Don't talk yourself out of things.
Yeah, just do it. So like, I wish I would have been creating more content and doing a lot more earlier. And it's funny, and like I've had people who were trying to tell me like,
talk a lot about what you do to who you're trying to talk to. Get really clear on that person and get really clear on what you do, and talk a lot about it on every channel where they're active.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview by Russell Brunson, and he was talking about how like you're gonna get tired of your story before other people do. Like, you gotta be talking about it every day, like every opportunity.
You never know who's watching you either. Like, people could be watching you for months on end, and they're just watching you until they get the confidence built up. Like, hey man, can you help me with this thing? And that's what happens. You never know who's watching you. Just because they're not liking your stuff, just because they're not commenting, doesn't mean they're not watching you. Keep making it. Stay consistent.
Yeah, guys, don't and to elaborate on that, like Chase said, just because you're getting 2-3 likes does not mean people are watching you. Like I don't know, people just will see a post and not like it. I always like posts, just so I keep showing up on their notifications. But like, people are watching, and they're like, I always say a sale is made when the right offer is made to the right person at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you make an offer, it's just not the right time, finances, whatever. You keep making offers, making posts, eventually,
micro offers. Yeah, that's the thing. Start making micro offers. Make offers that make it possible for them to get your bigger offer. Like, hey, dude, I'm doing 20% off just for the next 3 people. I'm really trying to help these next 5 people. Let's do it. Let's do a challenge. And we'll get them into the Facebook group and they'll do the challenge. You go live with them for 1 hour every single day. And then that builds up value. That builds those relationships. You have no idea the kinds of things you could be doing to build relationships on the front end that would give you really quality clients who wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
Well, the thing is too, if somebody pays you for something once, they're more likely to buy something from you again. Yep. So even if it's a little money, a little workshop, a $50 workshop or whatever.
But put your heart and soul into everything you make. Don't make something just for people to come and get it, just for it to be a lead magnet. Really take the time to think that thing out. Really take the time to make that thing. You've only got to do it once, and you can use it over and over and over and over again.
Ongoing.
Really take the time to offer value with that thing, though. Make sure they get everything they're looking for out of it.
That's gold. Yeah, I made a post about that. It was something along the lines of like, literally one digital asset can be producing you leads and sales forever. Like, one YouTube video will be I started out as an affiliate, so I posted a couple of YouTube videos on the channel, sales for like 2-3 years. Pipeline started to dry up, but like, seriously, like you make a post in, let's say, a video in a group, and then you make a post on your personal profile to send people to the group. And you make the post once, hey, I created this free training. You get a bunch of people saying, I want the free training. Send them to the group. You could reword the post and say if who wants to get benefit, and then take them to the same free training over and over again. You don't have to keep on creating content. So yeah, one digital asset can produce leads and sales for a long time.
Definitely.
So what trends are you guys seeing in like the marketing industry right now?
Trends. The trends I would say that we're seeing in the marketing agency right now.
I'm seeing everybody moving away from the agency model. Everybody's moving into consulting.
Done with you, consulting. Yeah.
Like, everybody's moving into what do you need to make a successful business rather than leads and all that stuff. Because we realize leads are cheap, man. Leads are just fuel. So if all you do is bring somebody leads, you're going out of business. You're not going to stay in business. You need to level up. You need to actually figure out
most
the full
people
process.
Actually, like, that's the thing, the end-to-end client acquisition.
Exactly.
The ISA,
that's what everybody's moving into.
That's the biggest trend I'm seeing.
So that comes down to the full marketing system to generate the traffic, which includes all the organic methods too, and ads. And then on top of that, the inbound marketing system to pick that up and handle it and follow up with these people for month on end.
And then actually hiring in closers to seal the deal. So like, that's the thing. Most people who own their business, and like I said, there's certain parts. There's like the actual product or service. There's the marketing for it. There's the sales for it. There's the operations and finances. Like there's all these moving parts. And most of the time with most business owners, they just want to provide their service or sell their product, you know? And so a lot of people like literally are just taking all of the heavy lifting so that that's what they can do.
Yeah. So just build the system out so they can just run their business. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody wants to do. That's what everybody's moving into. If you're just offering leads, you're out. You're on your way out. I'm sorry.
I love that. Yeah. Like, when you, a lot of marketers, like, you know, they create these offers that like, they just to make money. They're just worried about making money. They're not really worried about like creating a great product and really focus on what the market actually wants.
You've got to solve your people's problems. You just do.
Well, people will smell it a mile away if it's just about the
money. Authenticity and things, and your people's problems change. Like the world's constantly changing and evolving, the business landscape, the marketing landscape. So you want to improve your offer too for that reason. So, what are your goals for like the next, you never know what's going to happen. So you set a goal, or maybe you could tell me your ideology on goal setting, but like, what are your goals for the next, for the rest of the year and then, and beyond, and what are you guys doing to get there?
For me, I want to make $1 million personally with myself. And in order to do that, I mean, I've got to solve some next level problems for some next level people. And so that's my plan. I'm going to try and start to solve those next level problems, the full on end-to-end marketing systems, some SaaS products and stuff that I'm working on with some other people to automate consulting businesses for them. And yeah, I mean, I'm actually just moving into that coaching space to try and help people set up these consulting companies that everybody's moving into so they can do the end-to-end client acquisition systems. And so that's my plan to get there. I'm going to start to post a lot more organically and try to bring in some next level people that I can't get with ads.
And I like, for me personally, I just really want to like focus in and build up my personal brand and stuff more and put like myself out there more. Yeah. Like, cause I just like, I've always just been in it and like done the work and I'm like, okay, you know what? And I am really inspired by like teaching and stuff like that. Like even in a lot of my other jobs and stuff that we had before we ran the agency, like I would create trainings and courses and stuff like that. So for me personally, that's kind of what I want to lean into more, is being able to inspire through content and teach and build my personal brand.
Awesome. So now final question. So like, what do you guys want your legacy to be? Big picture.
Oh man, honestly, I want to be a big influencer. I want to be the reason somebody stayed in business. I want to be the reason that they succeeded.
Somebody to say like, wow, like, you inspired me, you helped me, and it's like, you can change the world with that.
I want to write books, make courses. I want my content to live on. I want it to outlive me and continue to offer value.
Just like Napoleon Hill.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I want people to be helped by my content for years and years to come.
I love that. And then final questions. So, dang, I had it in my head and it just disappeared. So like, what would be like some advice you have for new entrepreneurs, maybe even agency owners specifically, about building a business first, and then we'll talk about relationships, and then we'll talk about business first.
Basically, don't stop learning. Like, always keep learning. Never
I was going
to
say, get a mentor.
Get a mentor too. That'll help you have clarity on things. And like that way, the less that you have to figure out on the outside, the more you can figure out on the inside. So you can figure out your niche's problems and who that niche is and more about them and solving those problems, while you have this mentor here telling you what to do and what direction to go in and how.
Mentor to tell you, hey,
remove a lot of the decisions you have to
don't
make.
do this. This will make you fall on your face.
Yeah. And you'll get there faster.
And then a lesson on building a business while in a relationship as a mother or father with kids.
Balance. You need balance. You need you time. You need to take time with each other outside of the business. You need to have rules and boundaries.
Creating those boundaries. Like,
we don't talk about the business at certain times. We don't have notifications from the business at certain times. We're doing family time when it's family time, and that's what it is. But when it's time to work, it's time to work.
Mm. And then one lesson or however many lessons, your lessons on just happiness.
Basically, just do what you love.
Be grateful.
Be grateful. Just like really lean into gratitude and have the people around you that you love. Because once you make all that money at the end of it all, if the people that loved you and supported you aren't there, you're not going to be happy.
You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the people around you and having
Love
like
your people.
experiences with them, like the money won't mean anything.
Love your people more than anything. Take them with you. Take them places. Make sure they remember everything and have those experiences. Because if you wait for the money, you're going to wait forever. Then you got to enjoy the journey while you're having it, and enjoy the money while it's there, and enjoy the people while they're there.
Be grateful for the lessons that you get. Yeah, being present.
Mm-hmm. Align. Make sure you always know what direction you're going and you have clarity around that.
Mm-hmm. And then what's some of the worst advice you've ever gotten? Let's say business. Other than DMing a bunch of people. DMing a bunch of people.
Oh man. Oh, it's hard to say. Honestly, there's a lot of things that I've tried that have worked. There's a lot of things that I've tried that didn't work. Because the thing is everybody has their own thing that worked for them, but what works for them won't always work for you. And so you can try and implement everything under the sun, but you got to be fast. You got to be really fast at basically moving on to the next thing.
Fast at making decisions.
And understanding what's helping you and what's not through the whole thing. Because like I said, you get bad advice, sure. Doesn't mean it's always intended as bad advice. It just means it worked for somebody else. It didn't work for you. And so keep trying new things.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. Okay. Oh my God, you guys, man, I was not expecting this. I really wasn't. Like, you guys blew my mind today, and I really appreciate you guys coming on the show and dropping this wisdom. Like, you guys, I'm definitely gonna watch this back myself and learn the lessons, because you guys surpassed me by a long shot. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there for sure. And we just created a piece of content that'll live on, forever on YouTube for as long as YouTube exists. And we'll push as many people to it so more people can learn from you guys. Do you guys have anything specifically you want to promote or any last words?
I think we're good, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome. Someone said excellent session, guys. Awesome. So I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, thanks for being a part of the show.
Thank you, Dennis.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Of course. So if you guys are watching this, get this out to people. People need to see this. Share it.
Yes.
Comment, like, help the algorithm out. And then, that's all. This is the third episode of the Marketers Roundtable. And thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.
Awesome.